As I've mentioned that I have a swollen ankle, so it hates it when I sit down. It gets even bigger. So I decided to stand and see how that is going to work out. Guys, what is happening in Judge Ratha's courtroom? That's a stupid question. This has been happening for years already. This is the reason why I decided, let me take a backseat from this case because my mental health is not mentaling. So there was some sort of drama. I don't know what the drama was about because I studied it late. I think I started watching because I remembered, oh, by the way, I'm also following the Senzo Mewa murder trial since the Madlang Commission of Inquiry is off for now. I remembered, I was like, oh my goodness, the Senzo Mewa. So when I get there, there's some kind of a drama that is happening between the court and the defense. So I wasn't quite sure what that was about until Advocate Baloy stood up and then he complained like a kindergarten kid that Bongani Ndanzi was pointing aggressively towards the witness, and that was Miss Mdao. And now Miss Mdao, as I was watching yesterday, she is for the defense. Now, the question I was asking before Mr. Ramusipino, Mr. Mnisi brought it up, I was like, but why wouldn't Danzi threaten a witness that is speaking in his favor about the cell phone that was never in his possession? And then, of course, there was arguments about whether Ndanzi indeed he pointed aggressively towards the witness, but turns out that Ndanzi has some kind of a brotherly relationship with his driver. This man has been driving him for the past 3 years. I think he's a Mr. Mkwena. So Mr. Mkwena, allegedly, from what it is said, he pointed at Ndanzi in I think it's like a fist type of gesture. And then Ndanzi kind of like pointed a finger at Mr. Mkwena, not at the witness. So we did not see the video because Baloy had a visual to prove his immaturity, in my opinion. And then he says that in a court, you need, basically he's asking everybody to be robots, to be just like this. So there is no gesture you need to make that people make. And on top of that, at what point did the state ever educate the accused that you need to sit like a robot throughout proceedings? You do not raise your hands, you don't use your hands, you don't do this, you don't do that. And then when Mr. Baloy realizes that he actually lost this one, as he's lost this entire case, he says, no, it's the decorum of the court. I didn't say that he was pointing fingers at the witness, but his opening statement, as I understood it, he said, Ndanzi aggressively pointed in a form of intimidation towards, the witness. Judge Ratha took the opportunity. And I'm still quite surprised that there was such a serious accusations that were laid against the accused regarding the safety of the presiding officer and the prosecutors. Now, Judge Ratha wants to let us all know how serious this was taken because now he has 5 bodyguards that are paid by the state. And then 1 each for the prosecution. So in my head, I'm like, but this is May. When did this happen again? When did I actually stop watching the Senzo Mewa? That was little over a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. You telling me that the state security, with all the resources that they have, they still haven't provided proof that this indeed had happened in the court of law? Is that what I'm being told? Clearly, South Africa, there is an issue with this case. It's an issue, and the issue is that these men must not walk free. They are chosen ones, and they must not walk free. I mean, we did see these tactics before. Remember the tactics of the papers? They said, when I think there were some papers that were classified, and the lawyers had given their clients discoveries. that were not classified. And guess who went and said, oh, the defense gave their clients classified information, and there was a bit of a chaos and a drama there, and then it was ruled that the accused must not be in possession of classified information. Okay, and every time when Baloyi is losing the case, that's when he plays these tactics, from what I observed. When the second incident was when the prison wardens, remember the prison wardens, and I still remember one of the prison warden's name, was it Jabu Jele? Yeah, threatened, and then literally, Scott and Donald, no, not exactly Scott and Donald, but there was intimidation of accused number 5, 4, and 3, and there was a scuffle there. Once again, if you look at that, Baloyi was losing a whole lot of his case. A whole lot of his case. He was losing it because at that time, there were still eyewitnesses that were taking the stand, including the police officers. They did not know their right from their left. They didn't. So then suddenly, they want to fight the wardens. Why? Because because the accused were sitting on top of those desk-like stuff, and then South Africans were like, hang on a minute, but we've seen this before, and why this individual was not treated exactly the same way as accused number 5, 4, and 3. Radovan Kretcher, remember, he also sat exactly the same way as accused number 5, if I remember correctly. And then suddenly there are all these rules about decorum, and this is during lunch break. Exactly the same thing he said Baloyi at that time. And he's saying it now that, you need to wait for the lunch break or a tea break to make your gestures. But during the proceedings, you must just, I guess, be a robot. Okay, I'm just using my own words here. So there's this chaos, and then suddenly Judge Ratha was called out by Mr. Mnisi. Mr. Mnisi did say that, listen, I am still mentally unstable because of the accusation that I was complicit or involved in the attempted unaliving of the presiding officer together with the prosecution. Judge Ratha. Then he also misinterpreted his own whatever it is that he was thinking when one of the witnesses, I think it was another Zungu or some sort, and who said, you must remember, Utenege, this is not going to end here. This is a court of law, and it's in the public eye. And if there are things that he says, these things will snowball on the outside world. Some people might even feel so aggrieved that they might even harm him. Not harm the court or harm the prosecution. But no, Judge Ratha, as intelligent as he is, he says, no, it means uzongbulala. Oh, sizokubulala. What? Because there is an agenda with this case. There is an agenda, and this agenda is to make sure that these 5 men are thrown behind bars. All the relevant people that's supposed to be in that dock that committed this crime on the 26th of October 2014 still walk free. They still walk free. This case is traumatic. This case is so traumatic. I have a headache as I speak to you because of that drama. And it is ipepetiswa. That means the presiding officer takes petrol and pours it onto the fire. And then Judge Mnisi had to let the judge know also of the grievances that his clients are having regarding favoritism in court. Whenever the state brings up applications, the court hears the application with no questions. But when the defense says something, the judge smacks them down. Like he's not interested in hearing that. And therefore, Section 35 of the Constitution, where it speaks about a fair trial, that aspect is being violated by the presiding officer. I'm paraphrasing Mr. Mnisi's submission here. Well, Judge Rata, of course, as Judge Rata, he says, okay, I heard you. I heard you. And then, of course, he wanted to know from all the other defense lawyers if they support what Mr. Mnisi is saying, and they all support what Mr. Mnisi is saying. I support what Mr. Mnisi is saying. And I'm sure many people who are logical up here and been observing this case will say the same thing. I mean, it's something that we've been complaining about since this trial started de novo. When was it? 2023? Was it 2023 or 2022? I can't remember anymore. So, what is actually going on? As we speak, the Mayowa family had put together a march to the union buildings. I understand that they are there in the union buildings because they want a speedy trial now. This has been dragging on for years, and it's traumatic. And I've said this, if I am as traumatized, can you imagine what they are going through? They lost a loved one here. And justice is not moving. Instead, justice is playing tricks on the Mayowas, as we witnessed this morning. We witnessed this morning. So Mr. Mokoena, the driver of Ntanzi, was then called to either confirm what Ntanzi's story is saying, that, oh, no, this is what we do. It's a brotherly gesture. You know, when you know somebody, sometimes you literally punch them in the chest or do something. It's boy stuff. It's boy stuff. So Mr. Mokoena came and he confirmed exactly what Ntanzi was saying. But then it comes back to, why wouldn't Ntanzi threaten his own witness? This is now where Mr. Mnisi came back and say, court, come on. Let's be logical here. The Ms. Mdao, who was testifying yesterday, was testifying in favor of Ntanzi's defense. So now why wouldn't Ntanzi turn around and then aggressively threaten her? And then Judge Ratha is like, yeah, this is not the first time this has happened. There was a time where the accused showed a slitting of, where is the proof? And this once again proves that Judge Ratha always favors the state. Whatever the state says, Judge Ratha will pull out something that nobody is even aware of. And then if you say, Judge Ratha, okay, please, because there are cameras all over, just like how Baloyi showed with a video, please show us that. Show us that. I don't think he'll be able to. This is crazy. Oh, I just got reminded why I stopped. I got reminded. I was like, oh no, not again. We still have not matured in this case, especially the presiding officer. Listen, I'm not going to invalidate Judge Ratha that his life is in danger or was endangered and hence he has 5 bodyguards. I'm not going to invalidate that. But where is the proof? Where is the proof? You can't tell me that the state security is still investigating what? It looks like if this is not proven, Ntanzi and them, when they get out free, this is an addition to their lawsuit, defamation of character. And I think, what's his name, Mr. Mnisi and them will also do the same thing, because this is uncalled for. Anyways, guys, in case you are wondering, I'm in a different space because my other space is just not going to be conducive. It has windows above me. So I thought, let me stand here in front of this door in this different venue and let's have this conversation. I don't know, guys. I'm traumatized. I truly am traumatized. Hi, Asaz. Kwakhala nyonini. I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys? What did you pick up? What are your suspicions? Maybe let's renew our suspicions we had when this trial began in 2022. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyways, guys, I think they are back from tea. Let me get back and touch on myself because, the witness that we have is the former general of the Hawks, Mr. Libyan, if I'm pronouncing his surname right. And he is there in favor of the defense. So now, as a member of the Hawks, remember the Hawks is also part of intelligence, right? That's why I'm interested to sit and listen to his testimony, because we might actually get to the bottom of this. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's see each other on the other side. Thank you all so much. Please take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and defend this country with everything you got. We have to, guys. Goodbye.